I think I'm gonna entitle this video "My Story." In 1972, my parents got married and went to Canada. While they were in Canada, Montreal, Canada, my dad, they had a good job. My dad was in school. He was actually in medical school. He wanted to become a doctor. And in about close to a year and a half later, he had to leave the country and go back to where he was from, which was Haiti, because of political reasons between Haiti and Canada. So he and my mother, they both went back to Haiti within about a year and a half to 2 years, which is about, the time my mom was pregnant with me. So my dad, he wanted to be a doctor. Of course, when he got to Haiti, a couple months later, I was born. And he said that it took him all his strength not to kill himself because things were so hard, from being a student in Canada and having a good job and everything. And now all of a sudden, he had to be working, doing odd jobs to take care of my mom and a new baby, which is myself. I was born. And from that point on, he was not only working hard, but he was also depressed because things were so hard. Thankfully, in a few years later, about 6 years later, in 1981, he came here in America. But before he came, my story, reason why I call it my story, it's because I was born, that year that I was born, I got kidnapped as a baby. They tried to kill me multiple times. And the reason why this is a great story is because a lot of people have been through things like that, whether kidnapping or abuse or molestation. But, I believe that, if you keep going, if you keep staying strong, you will make it. You will make it. And after I was kidnapped, my dad, my mom was praying, and thank God, to make the story short, my mom, had a revelation where, she went and picked me up where they got me and everything like that, this and that. A lot of bad things happened, within that period of time. But there was pure misery, lack of money, lack of food, lack of everything, don't have a place to stay. Of course, I was a baby. I wasn't really aware of what was going on. But the one thing that I knew is that, that my parents loved me and they were doing their best, to bring me out and to keep us out of misery. And my dad worked, all kind of odd jobs. And I remember my parents had a piece of land, and my grandfather on my mom's side gave my dad some money to buy food to eat. But my dad, he went and bought a few bricks, and he got a couple of his friends, and they started to put the bricks, together so they can build, a place to stay, on that piece of land. Actually, as a matter of fact, that piece of land, it was right in the middle of a cemetery, or no, not in the middle of the cemetery. The piece of land was where they used to bury people. It wasn't really a cemetery per se, but it became it was a burial, plot where people used to, bury people. Because my dad and my mom and his friends and stuff like that, and some of their family members, while they were building, they would find, people's skull, hair, fingers, and all kind of crazy things, skeletons. But my dad and my mom, they did their best and built that one room. Within a few months, they had one room, not two, one room, no bathroom, no roofs, no nothing, So it was really hard. It was terrible. I remember, multiple times when it's raining, we would have to stand in a corner together until it finished raining. And then after that, we have to pick up the water from the floor. Pick up the water so we would have a place, to sleep to put our heads. It was really hard. It was sometimes depressing, was sometimes aggravating. My parents, especially, of course, me as a kid, I didn't really, really know except when I was hungry. I remember multiple times I passed out because I was so hungry. But I would continue the story later. But to make the story short, look at me now. You know, not only my dad, worked hard. He came here in 1981. He worked multiple jobs. He used to tell me all the time. He still tells me that every once in a while how hard, he used to drive a taxi cab, in New York. He would be driving, 24 hours straight, and then just go home, sleep 2 hours, come back again, do another 24 hours. Because it was that hard because he wanted to take us out of the misery. But when I came here in America in 1994, I was about 18 years old. I had just, finished high school in Haiti, and I came here. It was really hard because, I've had a lot of people telling me that, hey, it's hard. You need to just get a job and do something and, forget school. And a lot of my friends, started working and, of course, I got a job. I had a job. I remember my first job was Checkers. I had another job that same week working for Polo Tropical in South Florida. And then I got another part-time job. I had 3 jobs. I was waiting, tables. And I work at Checkers and Polo Tropical. I remember I used to be snapping those plantains and, with my hand because they don't give you a knife over there, or they didn't, at least, And I worked really hard. But as I was doing that, I was going to school. I had to learn English. I went to school for English, English as a second language. They didn't accept my paper from Haiti, so I had to go to school to become, to GED, to take my GED, good enough diploma, as people call it. But it allows me to see if you want something, you can get it. My story is you can make it if you want to make it. Later on, thank God, after I took my GED, I passed my GED in the 1995, I believe. And then that same year, I went to school. I became an X-ray tech, a radiology technologist. In 97, when I graduated, I started going and working 2 or 3 jobs. And then I went to college, to continue on, to get degrees and stuff like that, to study, to get better in life, because life, brothers and sisters, is about getting better. And this is why I started this channel, the life coach, certified life coach, David Halal. It's not so I can brag. It's not so I can show what I know, but it's for you to know that you can get better. You must show God, nature, the universe, that you are worth what they have given you. What God has given you, what the man upstairs, if you will, has given you, is that you have the power to make it. You have the power to make it. And now, brothers and sisters, I want to encourage you to show how great you are. Like there's a video I watch on YouTube multiple times where Muhammad Ali is saying, I'm going to show you how great I am. Well, show yourself how great you are. Make it, go through the barriers and make it, okay? And if every time you have a question, you can not only post them, but you can also email me at dyhalal@gmail.com. dyhalal@gmail.com. Or you can post your comments, your rude remarks, or what have you under my videos, and then I will answer your questions as soon as I have time. You have a good day. Again, this is life coach David Halal, fearlessly and passionately pursuing the call and the destiny, hallelujah, of God. And we'll talk later, okay? You have a good day. Bye.